Hey, my name's Tony, and I'm showing you a plugin today from PSP Audioware. It's called INFINISTRIP WIND Edition. And I have it pulled up here on the screen, and you can see that it is sort of emulating the style of a 500 series rack, if you're familiar with that in the analog world. And so, like a 500 series rack, you can pick individual modules and put them in a chain to make your own custom channel strips, or use the modules as special processing on their own. It comes with preamps, filters, gates, compressors, EQs, limiters, a control module, and some specialty modules as well. And I'm going to do a mix here with just 4 instances of INFINISTRIP WIND Edition. And we'll go through some of the modules, and you can see them in action. Alright, so you can see in the beginning right here, if I right click and I can open each of the drop downs of the modules. There's a preamp section. You can use a gain module, set a reference level. There's some preamp emulations from the 60s, 70s, 80s, even sample rate converter. It's a 12-bit emulation from the 90s, which I used to have that one too. It's pretty cool to have that color. And there's different filters and compressors and stuff like that, and we'll see those as we go through this mix real quick. So let's listen to this track. I have a selection here, and listen to it. And the artist on this track, his name is AKB. He's an artist that I'm working with, mixing some of his records. You can look him up on YouTube. That's AKB, also known as Indian Dentist Rapper. So we're going to go ahead and kind of, I think, work on this beat first. So let me mute the vocal bus, the ad-lib bus, and we'll listen to just the beat. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a preset here, and we'll just listen to this while I'm messing with it here. So I think this beat needs a little more punch, a little more presence, and needs to be just kind of brought out more. So the presets in this plugin are really good, really well thought out, and curated by engineers. So click on the drop down menu here, and I already know which one I want to use here. So there's a lot of them. See, there's 234 presets. And it's a good place to start, and then you can mess with them and change them how you want. Hip hop beats. So pull up this preset. You can already hear a big difference here. So on this, it's using the preamps, the pre-70s module, and it's driving it pretty hard with this analog emulation here. I'm going to take down the drive just a little bit. So I'm just going to mess with this preset. Has a basic filter on it, filtering at about 30.3 hertz there, taking out the low end a little bit. So this also has the VCA presser as the compressor on it. You can see it's an emulation of a 80s VCA compressor. If you're familiar with the look of this, you probably know which compressor it's emulating. And that's really bringing out the punch here of the drums, the kick and the snare, which it's known for. So on each module, you can solo and mute the individual modules. So I can solo this and hear just the compressor on it, and I can also unsolo it and just mute it, take it out of the chain. And this also has retro Q. It's an equalizer on the end of the chain here, and I can take that out by muting it here. Yeah, I really like how it brought out the high end of that synth. Yeah, I like what it's doing. I don't think I need to mess with this too much. Just turn the drive a little bit more. This is the analog emulation here, like I can turn off all the way if I want. That really adds some saturation, which is nice. Actually, I think the retro cue here, it's boosting a little bit too much to the low, so I'm gonna turn that down. Okay, I think that's a little more even. A little less. Okay. Yeah, I like that. So let's bypass it real quick. So this is just the beat with hip hop beat preset on it, and I adjust it a little bit and I put it back in. And then bypass it again. Here's a big difference. It's got a lot more sauce, a lot more punch. Yeah, much better. Let me save that. So, on the bottom of the modules here, you can see that there's a drop-down menu here too. So, you can go into individual presets of each module as well. Probably not going to do it right now, but you get the idea. We'll get into it a little more later. So, like the basic filter has basic filters for vocals, acoustic guitar, bass, piano. It's pretty cool. That's got individual presets for instruments as well. Okay, so let's turn on the Vox bus, the vocal bus here. There's AQB there. So this also, these vocals could use some work too. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna pause it for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and click the preset menu again, and then so it has on the left a bunch of categories here. So I'm gonna pick vocals, and let's see, the one I like on this is Vox track. So pick that preset, and so this is just the preset on it, and then the preset that we picked before and changed a little bit on the beat. Sounds better. It's a little bit too much high end on this one for his vocals, I think. So let's turn that down on the retro cue here. And it also has the channel cue on here. Turn that down. So his vocals don't have too much high end and jump out of the beat too much. Try to tuck it in. This also has a compressor on this preset, so it's the FET pressor. They also put in some of, or PSP has put in some of their individual plugins as modules. FET pressor is individual plugin. Retro Q is also an individual plugin from PSP Audioware. So that's pretty cool. You get a bunch of plugins on one window and one interface. And then the interface too, I have it on full view mode. You can also resize it, so you can make it larger and smaller. You can also do mini mode here, which you can just select the different modules and see them individually. They're still in a chain here, but I like it on full view mode, like a 500 series rack, so you can see everything all at once. And you can also change the by clicking and dragging, you can change the order of the modules. I'll just keep it the way it was though. And I'm actually going to turn the expander off. I don't think I need an expander on this. So I can mute it, and that's out of the chain now. Okay, let's listen to this again. I think I'm going to adjust the compressor a little bit. Try to control some of the peaks a little bit more. Turn on the threshold. Life mera king size, pucho mera ring size, extra large. You know what I feel like, yeah, I'm extra charged cause I exercise. And the saturator on the end is pretty cool. Also the reactive EQ before it is I think it's a dynamic equalizer. It's pretty cool too. So the saturator is just adding some color. It has different shapes here. There's valve 1, valve 2, tape 1, tape 2, soft clip, and hard clip. So I think valve 1 sounded good. I think I can turn on the ceiling on it. You can see how much saturation is happening here with a little meter on the top. Mute the module. Yeah, it just adds a little more warmth. I like it. It has a soft mode, and you can turn that off. A little harder. It just changes the algorithm of the saturation. I like it on soft better. Okay, so we've adjusted a lot of these modules here. Let's see. I think the filter's at a good frequency, 106 already. This is taking out what, a couple dBs about at 650, so taking out kind of some muddiness here, or some boxiness actually, nasal area. Okay, so I'm gonna bypass this. You can hear that it lost the control from the FET presser and some of the saturation and warmth from the other modules. Put it back in. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to push the gain just a little bit more of the pre-70s. So I can adjust the gain on the individual tracks, but I just want to show that you can do it within the modules of INFINISTRIP Wind Edition. So I'm adjusting the gain of that preamp, which is also pushing the compressor just a little bit more too. It's bringing the vocal forward, you can hear it. Now I'm going to bypass it. And then the master, there's a big difference, right? The master control here, you can see the level that it's hitting. So this is a stereo vocal here, so because it has some effects on it already. It's pre-treated. So you can see the left and right channels. Bypass it again. Really lost that thickness and warmth. And obviously it's gained a little bit and has some compression pushing it forward. Save that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass both instances here's of INFINISTRIP Wind Edition. The one on the beat bus, the one on the Vox bus, the vocal bus. So I'm going to bypass them both. And we'll listen to that, and then I'll bring it back in while you're listening to it. So this is with the plugins bypassed. Okay, now I'm going to bring it back in. I think I could do a little bit more to that vocal. I'm going to try using the drive on the pre. Adding a little bit of saturation. The harmonic, some emulated harmonic saturation there of the preamp. Yeah, I like that better. A little less. Life mera king size, pucho mera ring size, extra large. You know what I feel like, yeah, I'm extra charged, cause I exercise my patience. I don't ever do no wrong. I'm wonder if I can do a little more to that beat. Let's try putting a limiter on it, see what happens. Got a brick wall limiter here. Let's try. That's really pumping it now. But let's try one of the presets on the brick wall limiter. On the this is on the beat. Density. Now this might not work. Nah. I don't think it works for the full beat right now. A little smash. You can hear it's really pushing it, really limiting that. Let's try the VCA limiter. VCA lim. I really pushed it forward. I'm not really feeling that. That's interesting though. You can really get different limiter styles. Okay, open up the saturator. This is on the beat.
Life mera king size, pucho mera ring size, extra large. You know what I feel like, yeah, I'm extra charged, cause I exercise my patience. I don't ever do no wrong.
So I turn it to the soft clip shape on the saturator. This is on the beat again. Barely doing anything here, just a tiny bit of saturation. There's also a sidechain filter on this saturator, which is pretty cool, so I can just let out the bass so it's not being affected. So I think it's saturating the bass a little too much. So let me just turn up the frequency for the sidechain filter to leave that out of the affected signal of the saturator here. I put it to like 81 hertz. Okay, I'm gonna take it out of the chain here by pushing the mute button. It's gonna bypass this module. Try and decide which I like better. They're just different. You can do an external side chain here. And there's a monitoring mode on some of these where you can. So like on the VCA presser, you can monitor like just the compression that's happening. It's interesting. Okay, yeah, I like that. And then I'm gonna just turn off the plugin here real quick on the beat. Hear what it did to it. Wow, it's a big difference with INFINISTRIP on. Okay, let's turn it back on. Get all that energy back, the punch. So I'm just saturating, or just the soft clipper module, or the shape of the soft clip in this saturator module, just a little bit. It really brings out the clap, the snare here. I think it makes it less hi-fi, so I'm gonna leave it out. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it off, but it's interesting. It's just a different flavor, so I'm gonna go without it. And then maybe I'll take the retro Q amount on 2K here down a little bit.
धरती पे करे मेरे grind 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 पूछो time 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 क्या हुआ है मेरे साथ देखे हो जाना तू blind मेरे साथ जो भी हुआ है वो तेरे साथ जो होता तो तू नहीं होता आज नहीं होता तेरे कल में
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the vocal here.
पूछो मेरा ring size extra large you know what I feel like yeah I'm extra charged cause I exercise my patience I don't ever do no wrong for my patience
I feel like there's a little bit of boxiness I want to take out that is pushing on the retro cue. Alright, and maybe I want a little bit more top end back. We'll do it on the channel cue. Like 7K-ish. Maybe, let's go all the way up to 12.
Life mera king size पूछो मेरा ring size extra large you know what I feel like yeah I'm extra charged cause I exercise my patience I don't ever do no wrong for my
So I'm just changing it to like a bell curve instead of a high shelf. Alright, so I'm going to take INFINISTRIP WIND Edition off of this. Just click the bypass again. This is the vocal bus. So it's bypassed right now again. I'll put it back in. Okay, I think I'm going to drive this a little bit more. A little more gain into it. Tiny bit more. Do no wrong for my patience cause they trust in me and I bet hip hop pushing that presser a little bit more now. Won't stop, shut the fuck up, don't talk when the king is speaking. AKB is on top, AKB is teaching. A little less drive. I don't have to think twice. Geo life king size. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the ad-libs here. Okay, so I'm gonna actually mute the beat bus and the vox bus, and we're just gonna listen to the ad-libs because they're in the background, just so you can hear them better here. So there's another artist on this track here too, with AKB, and this track is called King Size. If you want to see it when it gets released, if you want to hear it when it gets released. Okay, so let's go through a preset real quick. Let's go to vocals. I think I'm gonna do BGV male, background vocals male. Alright, and this is on the ad-lib bus. Really brought it forward. So this is using the de-esser on it too. And this de-esser is cool. It's got a split mode, 2 different ratios to pick from. You can also monitor just the syllabants. So okay, let's hear it in the mix. I'm gonna bring back the vocals and the beat. This is using the VCA limb on it and the precursor cue. And this is actually taking down some drive on the pre-70s preamp. That's cool. A little too much. I'm gonna turn on the gain a little bit on it. Let me go back. Turn on the gain just a little bit. Actually, I'll turn that back up, and I'm gonna turn down. This has the output boosted on the VCA limb module, so I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. And I'll turn on the soft mode on this. See what it sounds like. Yeah, I like it better, harder. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go do a before and after again here. And so we messed with 3 instances of INFINISTRIP WIND Edition here on this mix. And so I'm going to bypass all of the plugins here. and then we're gonna listen to it, and I'll bring them back in. So this is just on the beat bus, the Vox bus, and the ad-lib bus. Just 3 plugins, 3 instances of INFINISTRIP Wind Edition. Okay, so let's listen to that before and after. So this is before. Okay, and then we'll bring them back in. Big difference. Extra large, you know what I feel like. Yeah, I'm that beat bus. I'm gonna gain it a little bit more. Patience, I don't never do no wrong for my patience. You, cause they trust in me, and I bet hip hop put a curse on me, cause I can't stop, won't stop. Shut the fuck up, don't talk. When the king is speaking, it can be his own top, it can be his teaching. Life made a king size, I don't have to think twice. Geo life king size. Woo. Grind, 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 put your time, time, time. क्या हुआ है मेरे साथ देखे हो जाना तू blind मेरे साथ जो भी हुआ है वो तेरे साथ जो होता तो तू नहीं होता आज आज नहीं होता तेरे गल में फूक थोड़ा ले और निकल बे life मेरा king size पूछो मेरा so actually I want a little bit more of that bass back in the beat. I feel like yeah I'm extra charge cause I exercise. So this is before again. This is all bypassed. All 3 plugins there. And bring it back in. I decided to keep the saturator on the soft clip mode on the beat. And I turn the bass back up a little bit so you can hear a little more 808, a little more bass. Okay, so last instance I have is on the mix bus, so just on the stereo bus going out. And so let's pick a preset real quick and then tweak it. Let's go over to special master 1, and this guy made it. So all the designers here, you can see which designer designed which preset. Anyways, okay. Going back here. So this is Master 1 preset on the mix bus. So a little too much, so we're gonna back it off a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so this has the master control. The width is a little wide for me, so you can. There's a width knob here. It's kind of cool. Okay, I don't need an expander on this. I'm going to mute that. And this optopressor, which is pretty cool, emulates a optocompressor, but I want to put a VCA here. And then my side chain, we put about 90 on the compressor here. Mix, I'm going to put 100%. Makeup, I don't need any yet. Okay, let me adjust the release of the VCA presser so it'll be a little more in time with the track. And threshold, I'm going to turn it up a little bit, so just barely compressing at all, just barely kissing it. So we're only getting like 1.5 dB of compression there. And then I'm gonna take it out. Just lose that control, yeah. I think I'm gonna turn down the channel Q, the top end a little bit. I think, yeah. Just turn it out all the way. You don't need that. Maybe you do. Just adds a little presence. Alright, checking out some 500. What are we boosting over here? Boosting 110. Yeah, keep that. Okay, one thing is I want to turn down the output of this Optolim. So this limiter here. This is the ceiling of the limiter. Maybe we'll limit just a little bit. Adjust the release on it.
Life mera king size, pucho mera ring size, extra large. You know what I feel like, yeah, I'm extra charge.
So I'm just trying to catch the peaks.
I don't never do no wrong for my patience. Cause they trust in me.
Any overs there? Put on soft mode. And there's also a sidechain filter on this limiter, which is cool. Alright, so let's take that off the mix bus real quick. So bypass it. Let's just bypass it. And then bring it back in. Let's drive the preamp module a little bit. I think it's making the 808 2 round. Now we'll take it off. Do no wrong for my patience, cause they trust in me, and I bet hip hop put turn up the makeup gain on the VCA presser. I'll turn up the ceiling on the opto limb because I did that. Yeah, I like that. Turn off the channel Q real quick, see if it's adding anything I like. Yeah. It has this analog button here, so it's going to put a little bit of analog saturation emulation in it. And there's some plugins I've used in the past that I didn't like that in the plugin. I would turn it off, but on this one I'm going to leave it on. I like it. For this mix, it works. Alright, so I'm going to go and I'm going to bypass all of the instances again of INFINISTRIP Wind Edition. So I have 4 of them. Again, one on the beat bus, one on the Vox bus, one on the ad-lib bus, and one on the mix bus where everything's going through. So let's bypass them all, and we'll listen to it before, and then I'll bring them all back in at once, and we'll hear the after. Alright, let's bypass, and then I'll bring it back in. I think the vocals can come up a little bit more. I'm just going to gain up a little bit. You know what I feel like, yeah, I'm extra charge cause I exercise my patience. Okay, I'll bypass all of them again. This is before, after. Put a curse on me cause I can't stop, won't stop. Shut the fuck up, don't talk. When the king is speaking, it can be his own top, it can be his teaching. Life made a king size, I don't have to think twice. Geo life king size, whoop. Grind, grind, grind. Put your time, time, time. क्या हुआ है मेरे साथ? Grind, grind, grind. Put your time, time, time. क्या हुआ है मेरे साथ? देखे हो जाना तू blind मेरे साथ. जो भी हुआ है वो तेरे साथ. जो होता तो तू नहीं होता आज. आज नहीं होता तेरे गल में. I'm adjusting the gain of the preamp a little bit more on the Vox bus. You know what I feel like, yeah, I'm extra charge cause I exercise my patience. And I'm gonna do the same to the ad-lib. Put a curse on me cause I can't stop, won't stop. Shut the fuck up, don't talk when the king is speaking. Alright. So that's a quick mix with just 4 instances of PSP INFINISTRIP Wind Edition on a hip-hop track. And if you want to check out that artist again, his name is AKB. You can check him out on YouTube. This mix should be up there maybe by the time you see this. And then also, if you want to check out PSP INFINISTRIP Wind Edition, you can go to pspaudioWare.com and check out the demo today. Have a good one. Thanks, guys. Put your time, time, time. क्या हुआ है मेरे साथ? देखे हो जाना तू blind मेरे साथ.